welcome back. Episode 8, the Bang Podcast. So we had a little difficulty today thinking of some topics because there's been a lot of news in sports. So we created a few polls on Instagram, and we let the people decide this one. Very democratic in the spirit of Mr. Cuomo.
That's a great idea by you.
And that is the first topic we will be starting with. So do you want to introduce Mr. Cuomo and what's been going on?
Context for a few people. So basically, I'm sure a lot of people know, but the governor of our state of New York has been embroiled in scandal. It has been, quite frankly, a shit show for Governor Cuomo these last few weeks. So just to give some context, 3 weeks ago, he was accused of covering up nursing home deaths. Again, he was always accused of nursing home deaths by
this has been
putting
going
the
on
people
for a
back
while.
in the nursing home. But the new allegation by the state attorney general said the governor's administration was covering it up, basically saying more people died in hospitals than did in nursing homes. So basically, the reason he did that was to make his administration look better, which is bad. But then things went from bad to worse over the last week or so after 3 allegations of sexual harassment. It depends how you define it, but one definite allegation, which he has denied, but the other 2, he has admitted to making, just to give some context.
Uncomfortable comments.
He has admitted to making weird comments, which range from, have you ever dated a man in his 60s? Governor Cuomo was in his 60s. He's also been accused of unwanted kissing, which he has denied.
I saw a picture of that.
Videos of the governor, again, I have no reason to disbelieve these people, and everything about Governor Cuomo these last few months has completely led me to believe he has no credibility. His approval rating over the last 2 weeks has plummeted by almost 30%.
I'm aware. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you think it's odd how in the last week, while he's been thrown on, all this stuff has been thrown on him about the nursing home deaths, do you think it's odd that 3 women at one time have accused him of sexual harassment?
No, because I think
in the week that he's been collapsed on by the media, by the state, by basically all of his constituents are against him at the moment. Do you think it's a coincidence?
No, well, look, I will say this. And you saw this with Harvey Weinstein, you saw this with
I agree.
But once one allegation comes out, you're going to see a lot more. Doesn't mean they're not true.
I do agree, but also the allegations, allegations themselves.
Of course, but the fact is,
do you think they constitute his resignation?
Well,
I think the nursing home thing
I agree. That's more of an issue for me.
That is more of an issue. I think that may constitute a resignation. I don't know about necessarily
and
what
also,
he did.
He also got in trouble with the nursing home. He was also, and this is true, which, to be fair to the governor, he has denied this, he called a Democratic state congressman Democratic. So this guy is technically on his side, or should be.
Yeah.
He called up and basically said to him, you better fucking defend me. I'm going to rant to this family in the room, saying, you better defend me or I will end your fucking career.
Wow.
This family in the room.
Okay,
now, if that's true.
Here's the one thing I was thinking. Here's what I was thinking. So, I didn't know necessarily when I first heard the allegations when they came out. I didn't know necessarily what to believe, and I didn't think they were that serious. But what worries me the most is the way he's handling it. The fact that he wouldn't let them investigate the way they wanted to investigate kind of tells me that there could be more to the story.
It's very suspicious.
And I think that's very suspicious.
And he has admitted to some wrongdoing, so again, I could just picture him.
I have no argument that it's creepy. What he's accused.
And I can just picture him.
It's creepy and it's weird, but I don't know if it constitutes a resignation. Sure. But the way that he's handling it, wanting to have his own guys investigate it, I think that's very, very suspicious, and I don't know.
What do you think ends up happening? Now, this is the problem with the governor.
I think he's going to stay in power. I think he'll stay in power.
Well,
I think they're going to do an investigation. They'll find he made a few creepy comments, but I don't think they're going to find he did anything Weinstein-esque.
Oh, I don't agree with that. He's not been accused of rape.
I don't think he's like, I don't.
No.
Yeah, but I mean.
I will say this about the governor.
And I think people know the nursing home thing happened. Like
the thing is with Trump that's different with Cuomo is the Republican Party never stopped backing Trump. Cuomo.
Okay, well the Democratic Party is much softer. They will turn on you way easier. Are you kidding me?
Well,
they are so.
The governor is
they are so. You
enemies.
say one thing, and the Democratic Party will flee because they don't want to be associated with you. They'll cancel you immediately.
No, I don't think the
Speaking
the
of,
governor
we should talk about this.
Thousands of nursing home
we should talk about this.
Cancel culture, but
we should talk about that. Oh wait. First, I have to ask you. You're done supporting Andrew Cuomo?
Well, of course not.
Do you think he did a bad job with the COVID crisis?
I think in April and May, those press conferences were very important in assuring Americans, but ever since, I would say...
Did he do a good job or a bad job?
Overall?
Yeah.
Overall, bad job.
I disagree. I think he did a good job. The highest death total because we have the biggest city in the world.
His actions...
We have the biggest city in the world.
I will say this. His actions leading up to summer and into the summer let us have a relatively normal summer as compared to a lot of other states. I will say, give him credit for that. But the nursing home debacle... I just. Speaking of the governor, there he is, that motherfucker. And it's just, I believe he will be. They already rescinded his emergency powers.
He won't be impeached.
I believe he will be impeached and eventually removed. I don't think he.
I think he'll get to the end of his term.
He might resign.
He'll get to the end of his term.
He's not going to resign. It's like he's very.
When is his term over?
2022. That's exactly.
That's a long time.
And he's running again. He's running for re-election.
Okay, I think he will finish his term. He will not win re-election.
Will he run for re-election? Who's going to be in there? A Republican or will someone primary him?
Someone will primary him.
I agree. I don't.
He will not be the governor anymore. He won't be the governor anymore. But I think he'll finish his term.
Sure.
I think they'll probably do an investigation and they'll find.
I agree.
Maybe he made some weird comments.
But
I mean, I don't.
I'm not really shocked, but it's just unfortunate that it has come to this for the governor. And
I think
screwed up with
you. You have been a Cuomo hater for a while.
No.
You have been a Cuomo hater for a while. You have hated him for the longest time. I liked him. I think he did a good job with the coronavirus. I really do. I do. If we had DeSantis, half the population of New York City would have died. Would have been open right now, but they would have died.
Okay. There's a difference from worst ever and bad. Just because you're not Trump or DeSantis doesn't mean you're still not bad. I have standards.
Here's what I think. In this day and age, your standards have to be lowered.
Well, that's
severely. No, you can't. Because considering the last president talked about groping women on camera and was elected after it.
But
the standards have to be lowered.
I agree with that.
Severely.
Speaking of we'll finish on that.
Oh wait, I was gonna transition this into, because we forgot, a little cancel culture thing.
Sure.
Dr. Seuss.
Okay.
Is not allowed to be read anymore.
That's a good point. I did a lot of research on that.
I did it as well.
So
what is your opinion? I want to hear it because I don't know you. I don't know your opinion.
People don't know is Dr. Seuss. There's around 6 novels. Again, to be clear, the people saying Democrats want to cancel Dr. Seuss, it's really the Twitter people, which is a very minority population.
It's not really that much minority because
really
Joe Biden refused to say his name during the reading day.
I agree. I think because the thing with which I do not like, the thing with this administration is Trump tried to, in my opinion, appeal to the Proud Boys when he said in debates, Proud Boys, stand up. I think Biden tries to appeal to the leftist mob, which I don't think he should. But the thing
I just think it's so ridiculous.
Then Dr. Seuss wrote
I just think it's so
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Dr. Seuss has written hundreds of novels over time. Now,
I know. He was a racist.
I read 6 novels.
He was relatively a racist.
6 books in particular he wrote. I actually read them just to see what they were talking about. There's no question about it. He said, I'm not going to get into what he said, but it was very, very not good.
I have no doubt. He's a racist.
I have no problem with... I'm not sure about that. But
no, he was. They reported
I have no problem with those books. Sure, don't sell them in Barnes & Noble. I'm fine with that. But
you can't cancel.
But it's not canceling.
These are foundational books of childhood.
No. The books he wrote were not foundational. I want to talk about The Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham.
Okay, but...
Sure, keep them.
But they're canceling the men.
Yes,
they're not canceling his 5 books. They're canceling the man himself.
Yes, I disagree with that. Those books I would cancel. But I don't think it's going to
Should we cancel Thomas Jefferson and more than half the founding fathers because they had slaves?
But I think we should recognize.
Where does it end? This is my question.
That,
of course we recognize it.
I don't think a lot
doesn't
of
mean
Republicans
the man has to be canceled.
I don't think a lot of Republicans recognize any of the evils of something.
I think they do. I think they're just fed up with. I have to be honest with you, and I'm fed up with it too. It makes you want to not be a Democrat because, the fact that that's associated with the party really is just a bad look. Why are they focusing on canceling a guy who wrote children's books 40 years ago rather than opening America and getting people safe and getting businesses run.
How many people actually believe this? The reason you're thinking it's, oh my God, the huge thing is Fox. CNN, MSNBC, they're not doing segments on Dr. Seuss. Fox News is. Every segment
because
is Dr. Seuss. Hannity,
it's just
Dr.
a bad
Seuss.
look for in the same way that people holding Trump people who support white supremacy is a bad look for Trump supporters.
Of course it is.
That's the same way. In the same way, people who cancel Dr. Seuss is a bad look for liberals. However,
a person will have different a lot worse than the other.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. However, I just think that people are fed up with that kind of culture.
Fair enough.
And it's not that small of a population. It's like a decent population.
The Twitter, I did think it's a Twitter mob, but
it's not. But the Twitter mob makes up a decent part of the Democratic Party.
1% of. I'm not sure about that.
I have no idea. There's literally no way to tell. You can't tell me. I can't tell you. There's no way to know.
Politics. The president, I have to discuss this. Their ex-president spoke at CPAC last weekend. Now, again,
people don't know CPAC.
CPAC is like a conservative conference where all these people.
It's it's for radicals at this point.
But the president,
radical
red.
red.
In 2016, Trump refused to go to CPAC. Do you know that?
I did not.
Because he boycotted it because they didn't like him.
Oh, it was rigged.
Yes, there were polls though from CPAC, which I thought was very interesting. Overall, of the CPAC attendees, 95% voted for. Again, these are the most conservative people in the entire country. It's just not like the population. 95% of the people approved of Trump. Makes sense. Of the CPAC attendees, 75% said if he was a nominee, or 85% said if he was a nominee, they vote for him again, which is okay. But this is the shocking thing. 55%, only 55. These are the most conservative people. These are the Trumps. Only 55% of them said they would vote for him in a primary again, which I think is
that's interesting.
Very concerning news for him. And again, I think that.
Let me ask you this: do you think he will run again? Because
my
stance. I think he'll run again. And not only do I think he'll run again, I think if Biden does a bad job, which I don't think he's done a bad job yet. I don't think he has done a bad job yet.
He's quite popular.
If he does, it's in the. I heard it was 60.
Simple.
If he does a bad job in the next 4 years, Donald Trump will be the president again. I could totally see it.
I think a lot of it depends, though. You're not looking into the fact. I think Trump could face a lot of criminal.
He could. I don't think that will stop him. I really don't.
I don't know though.
And I know for a fact that anyone in the Democratic Party will not stop him. Who could?
This is assuming Biden is
bad. A 78-year-old Joe Biden.
This is assuming Biden is bad.
Yeah. Relatively bad.
Well, again,
the economy
it's too early
dips.
For that. It's too early to see it.
Obviously, but it's if.
Obviously, Harris would be up there. Got the governor.
I think
Governor Cuomo is obviously he's done.
I think
he's not going to be an option.
You don't think he's going to beat Kamala Harris? I think he would destroy. No, Trump. I think he would destroy Kamala Harris.
I think it's way too early for that too. To see, he would destroy her. It's 3 years away. You don't know.
You do know. I think people will look back on Donald Trump's presidency and forget about the coronavirus.
They're not going to forget about the coronavirus.
They're not going to forget about it, but they might say there's a good chance they'll say, you know what? It wasn't really his fault, and look what happened before it. The economy was great. Why don't we have this guy back?
Are they not going to remember that
instead of the people who will cancel Dr. Seuss?
Are they not going to remember? People, come on. So just to be clear, they're going to remember that.
I'm just looking at it from their point of view. I think he could totally win.
But there is a minority. Their point of view is a minority in this country. I don't give a flying shit. They can vote for Trump.
It is a minority. It's also a minority that's won. In 2016, it's a minority that's won.
But they lost the popular.
4.
Okay, but
Bush,
this America in 2024 is very different than 2020, than 2004. Yes.
It's not much different than in 2016 though. It's not much different.
I disagree.
It's not really.
I'll tell you what. When the
you know why? Because America in 2020 isn't different at all. It isn't different at all. Less than 3 months ago, we had people rioting in the Capitol because they believed the guy was falsely elected.
Yes, those people are complete idiots. And guess what? Trump still lost. So democracy works.
I mean.
And you know what? All these people.
I think you're naive. I think you just think he's just gonna go away and people.
No,
it was a fluke. I think you think it was a fluke. It's clearly not a fluke how he won. It's not. It's clearly not. And that can happen again.
It was a fluke. I don't think.
And that can totally happen again.
I disagree.
It can absolutely happen again.
I pray to God he's their nominee.
No. That would be the worst thing.
There's two people that would be worse.
No, he would be the worst thing for the Democrats. If he ran again, he would be the worst thing. I am so afraid of him running again because he'll win again. People like him.
Bring it. No, they don't like him. What are you talking about? Republicans like him. Trumpers like him. He left office with a 30% approval rating.
People like him.
Okay.
He left office with a 33% approval rating at the height of a pandemic where 400,000 people died.
No, it was 45 a month before. No, you're wrong, though.
I'm not wrong.
It was 45 a month before that. It was 30.
You don't think in 4 years, let me ask you a question. You don't think in 4 years, you don't think people are going to look back and be like, before the coronavirus, I was doing great. The economy was up. We had jobs.
But you're assuming that none of this is going to happen under Biden. Biden's coming out of a pandemic. You don't think
I agree. Biden's going to do a good job. That's the only thing I think will stop Donald Trump.
Do you think Trump will lose? Assuming you just said Biden. You think
I do. I think he'll lose. But I think you and the rest of the Democratic Party seem to think he's going to magically disappear.
But it's in 3 years.
The only way he would magically disappear is if he had a heart attack and died.
I wish.
Okay.
But
all right.
I will say, okay.
We need to move on. This has been a while.
Sure.
Okay, now we're going to move on. College basketball.
Just kidding about the heart attack. I hope he's fine. I thought he spent the rest of his days in a prison cell where he belongs from inciting a riot that killed 5 police officers.
Okay.
But
college basketball.
And yet people still defend that. But it's okay.
Okay. College basketball. On to college basketball.
Yeah.
So, the tournament is starting in a week or two, I think.
Yep.
Right now, there's like preliminary tournaments. I think the A10, like some random like divisions.
What selection? What is it?
That's football. They kind of had the seeds laid out.
But
the 1 seeds are gonna be Gonzaga.
Oh Jesus Christ! Breaking news: Governor Cuomo accuses that he was trying to sleep with me.
Okay, the 1 seed is gonna be Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, and I think it's between Ohio State and Illinois right now.
Gonzaga's gonna win.
That's your pick?
Fucking words.
Gonzaga? They haven't lost a game this year.
Exactly.
They basically win every game by 20 points.
Who's favored to win? Who's the
Gonzaga. Probably Gonzaga. I could look. I think Michigan is going to win. I like their defense.
You do.
They have Juwan Howard. Do you know the guy who's on Fab Five?
Sure.
Do you?
Yes. I do. I swear to God.
He is their coach. Coaching them great. They've lost 2 games this year. And then I thought Baylor was really good, but they lost to Kansas. And Kansas is really on a roll. The surprising thing this year is that, like, the classic teams, UNC, Duke, probably not going to be in it.
That's surprising.
They stink this year.
Duke's going to be out of it?
They're in the last 4 out. So they need, like, a really big win, or else they're done. Even if they were in it, I don't think they'd do anything.
I do wonder if the ratings are going to be... I think they're going to be down.
I don't know, but I have to say it is my favorite thing in sports.
I think college
the March Madness
basketball
tournament is my favorite thing in sports. I think I should speak for a lot of people saying that.
I think college basketball is a very... is a sport that is designed to do good with... I think sports like baseball could survive with no fans. Not survive, I won't be as good, obviously, but I think a sport like college basketball would flourish with fans.
I totally agree.
Without fans...
I totally agree.
I think without fans, you're going to see the ratings go... Even the NBA...
I think you're absolutely right.
The NBA, again, you could say...
They feed... The NBA, too. Feed on the crowd. In basketball, the crowd is such a big thing. You feed on the crowd.
The ratings for the NBA Finals, I think you could say this was because of a lot of protests that they were doing, but I think it's more to the fact there was no fans, so people really weren't as...
I agree. It was like,
It was very low. It was like 6
They
million.
tried. They tried to make it interesting.
They did.
It wasn't.
And, I mean, it wasn't that bad of a night. It was Lakers Heat, which is like, you know...
LeBron too, yeah.
LA versus Miami, that is some... People would love the reporters.
Yeah, that would have gone crazy,
man. That
man.
would have been insane. It's unfortunate, but we can do it. But again, I think that's why I think the ratings are going to go down. But again, it's the first time it's been...
I agree with you. I think it's in Indianapolis this year.
It's in Indianapolis, yeah.
It is, right? Yeah.
So, again, I think a lot of college players have now... Will Ball go to college? He didn't, right?
No, he skipped. He went somewhere...
He's been doing very well.
I think he's going to be the Rookie of the Year this year.
I agree with
Definitely.
you. Who's the other option? Anthony Edwards?
Anthony Edwards is okay. This guy, Tyrese Halliburton on Sacramento. But anyway, yeah. March Madness is just my favorite thing. I just love how you could have, like, teams you've never heard of before.
Yeah.
And then all the dramatics and stuff.
Oh, of course.
But I agree with you.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be the same without fans. Because the fans really make it what it is. People feed on, like, the students and the fans. It's, like, so cool.
I cannot wait to get a full capacity crowd again.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I don't care what it is.
Yankees.
Yankee Stadium, and will there be full capacity fans in mid-October?
Mid-October for the playoffs? Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, at least it'll be like 75. I put at least 75%.
Okay, I agree with that. I tend to agree.
I think like 350 million people will be vaccinated by October.
But you're okay.
Maybe more.
Unfortunately, a lot of people.
Well, Biden just came out and said.
Of course, he did.
Every adult in America will be vaccinated by August.
But let's take it for account. There's a lot of
by May. By May.
There's a lot of vaccines out now, but a lot of it is the getting it to people. It's very difficult to make an appointment. Like,
I agree.
So everyone won't be vaccinated by the end of May. It'll probably be until the end of summer.
That is true.
But again, you have to assume a lot of people don't want to get vaccinated.
Okay, so it's stupid. Okay, so speaking of the Yankees,
what time is it?
6:50.
Okay.
You got like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Speaking of the Yankees, what have you liked so far in spring training? Corey Kluber. I thought he was gonna stink. He did very good.
What can I say?
2 innings, shutout with like 3 strikeouts.
He got shellacked today though, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. And also Gary.
It's Gary Sanchez.
Gary with 2 homers.
Don't tease me, Gary.
Hey, yeah, really.
Don't fucking tease me. Do you understand that? Don't fucking tease me. I think. I'm not going to give my Gary Sanchez prediction because I absolutely have no idea.
Gary's a tease.
I have no idea what to
expect. Shout out Hannah P.
Yeah,
Gary is a tease.
You're not going to watch this, Hannah, but if you do, listen, so...
Gary, I mean, he's good when it doesn't count.
Oh, by the way, watch out. Low-key good signing for the Yankees, Derek Dietrich.
Watch out for him. Love him.
For him.
He's a little cocky. He's like a little...
I like that, though.
He's got some fire, yeah, you know? I wish Judge was like that. Judge is like too quiet for me, man. I don't like him. I don't like him.
Listen, I think Stanton will go off this year. I think he's gonna hit 45 at least.
Oh.
Assuming he doesn't get hurt. But you know, who knows?
Who's gonna be the better team in New York? Mets, Yankees.
Record-wise?
Who do you think will be better? I guess record, yeah.
Yankees, yeah.
Also, eye test. Mets, Yankees.
Yankees still.
Who will go further in the playoffs?
Oh, well, I don't think the Mets have any chance of getting past the Dodgers, and I think the Yankees are independent, so I go with the Yankees. I go with the Yankees. I
test Mets. Record Yankees.
Who goes farther?
AL East is atrocious.
Well, you picked the Blue Jays on the AL East last podcast.
Yeah.
Change your mind on that?
Yeah, maybe changing my mind. Okay, the Mets, I just like their pitching.
Oh, I love
especially if Syndergaard.
But Yankees make some good. Justin Wilson, low-key good pickup.
He is very good. Very good. And also Lindor, I love. He's like one of my favorite players.
Goodness, absolutely.
Santa Maria.
Yeah, so, again, I think we're not sure yet, but in the coming month or so,
oh boy,
we might have a few guests on. We don't know yet. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll have to have
I wish we had more to say about baseball, but it's like baseball.
Baseball right
now is kind of slow.
We'll be giving our predictions for the season, what we expect, division by division.
Steve, you look absolutely huge right now.
I know. Thank you.
Are you going to drop the steroid routine or no?
Of course. There's no steroid routine. But thank you. We appreciate it. And we'll probably post it again maybe Sunday. Or actually, no. Or
whenever, I don't care.
But early next week we'll go.
All right.
So thank you, and we'll